This is an unboxing and video demonstration of the Frewico smartwatch. This is a low-cost smartwatch that works great with Android devices. It's a fantastic link watch that brings a lot of the functionality of your smartphone to your wrist and works great if you're trying to get notifications, check your emails, and just kind of avoid taking your phone out of your pocket on a regular basis. So today we're going to go ahead and take it out of the box, see what comes with it, and kind of get a general feel for what this inexpensive watch can do. So let's go ahead and pop open the box and see what's inside. This watch is offered in a variety of colors. I ordered one in black, and that's this particular box in case. Let's pop it open and see what's inside. The packaging is pretty robust. As you can see, it's made in 3 pieces. It feels pretty solid. And at first glance, this thing is unmistakably an Apple Watch clone. Like, from a couple feet away, this could easily pass for an Apple Watch. Let's go ahead and just pop it open. Let's put that aside. Also included is a micro SD card. This watch actually has a micro SD card slot, so you can use this for storage. Smartwatch manual is included as well. This is the battery for the watch. And the micro USB cable. And that's everything. Carefully remove the back plate and insert the battery, replacing the back cover when you're finished. And before we power the watch on, let's go ahead and remove the plastic covering from the front of the watch, and also remove the small plastic film strip from the bumper side as well. There we go. Looking good. Now, we're ready to go ahead and power it on. Now we're going to go ahead and power up the watch and get a feel for what kind of applications we see. So it's not connected to any Bluetooth yet, so it's not linked up to anything. Got a couple of apps. The default screen has sort of like a Google Maps type logo, has a pedometer, sleep mode, settings, camera, messaging. This brings you to the screen where you can download the Bluetooth app. So we've got a couple of different options, but a lot of these apps are not going to be very useful until we link via Bluetooth. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab a phone and we're going to go ahead and link to Bluetooth. And we're going to see what we can actually, what kind of functionality we can see once we're all linked up. So we're going to go ahead and do that and see how easy the process is. Frewico includes the BT NOTIFIER software on a micro SD card that's included with the watch. There are a couple of ways you can get this software off the micro SD card. You can either use a micro SD to USB converter, like this one, plug the micro SD card into the converter and then plug it into your computer's USB port. Or you can use a micro SD to SD card like this one. If you're using a Mac, you can just plug it straight in your computer, or if you're using a PC, you can plug it into an SD card bay in the front of your computer or a small adapter. I'll include links to both of these in the description below. The next step is to email yourself the application. So as you can see here, I've emailed the application to myself. It's 300 kilobytes, so it's pretty quick. Once you open it up on your Android device, you're going to notice it asks for a lot of permissions. This is fine because it's going to go through and it's going to ask to request your photos and your texts. And this is all stuff that it has to access to work, so that's okay. It's going to tell you the app is installed. So hit open. It boots up. Once you enable the accessibility, you want to scroll to the very bottom here and hit BT notification and select on. And it's it's going to say use BT notification. Hit turn on and go to the top and hit back, and now the app is working. And now the next step is to grab the watch, and now we're going to go ahead and sync that up. So we're going to want to make sure the Bluetooth is enabled on our phone, so we want to make sure that's turned on, and we're good to go here. And we can see the watch is turned on and enabled, so power's on, it's ready to go, it's linked up. So let's search. And we can see here that our phone now appears on the watch, so we're going to go ahead and pair it up. And now it's going to display pairing. Now it displays a passcode on the watch as well as on the phone. And so we are going to hit yes, the passcode is matched. On both the phone and the watch. And now it is a successful pair. Great. Cool. And now our watch has been successfully paired to our phone. So now we should be receiving incoming notifications to the phone directly to the watch. So we're going to test a couple of those out, and we're going to try out text messaging, phone calls, and Google Hangouts and things like that. And we're going to see what works with this watch. So one of the cool features about this watch is if you're connected over Bluetooth, any texts that are sent to the phone are actually forwarded directly to the watch. So right now I'm going to send a text to this number and it's actually going to come straight to the watch. So I just sent a text to the phone and you're actually going to see the notification pop up on both the phone and the watch. So this is kind of a cool feature, and it lets you actually avoid having to take your phone out you know, if you're at work, or if you're busy, if you're running around, and you can see the notification as well as the contents of the actual text message, as well as when it was sent and some other information. So it wouldn't be a smartwatch review if I didn't make a phone call with the watch. So we're going to try and make a phone call, and we're going to use the phone here. This actually uses the phone's SIM card to make the watch, but use the phone as the speaker and microphone. So we're going to dial here using the phone screen. And it's actually not bad to type with. I've used phones that were a lot worse. So this is actually not bad. Cool. So the volume's actually pretty good here. You can mute the microphone, you can put it on speaker, looks like you could hold it, you can add the call to a group, you can bring up the phone menu. So you have a couple of options for different things you can do during the call. And the speaker's actually fairly loud, so you could actually use this while you were walking around outside. This is actually a fairly decent speaker, so if you wanted to use this as a speakerphone, you probably could. There's also a micro USB port on the side, so you could use a set of micro USB headphones with a microphone jack. So you could also talk into that if you wanted to make calls. So we'll end this call here. Not bad though. For making phone calls, this is definitely one of the better watches I've used. We're going to go over some of the built-in apps that the Frewico has. Some of these don't actually work unless you have a SIM card installed. The Internet Explorer icon, if you don't have a SIM card installed, it doesn't actually go anywhere. You can scroll over to the side. This will show you your inbox and your recently sent messages. These are all text messages. This shows you recent phone calls, and it will give you a little keypad for making phone calls, missed calls, dialed calls. Looking phone will make a loud ring coming from your phone. And turn that off right now because the phone started to make a noise. This launches a camera. This actually controls the Bluetooth camera from your phone. There is a camera built in to this watch, and that is here. And I actually took a photo with it earlier, and this is the photo. So that is a picture of me. The resolution is decent. It is not bad. Everything comes out really tall and kind of narrow. But as far as like quick on-the-go selfies go, not bad. Kind of cool to have on your wrist. It also has like a digital zoom that zooms in incrementally. There's also a camcorder feature, and if you take the 128 megabyte micro SD card that is included with this watch, if you insert it into the watch, you can actually use that to record directly too. And there are a couple other interesting apps. This will remind you to get up and walk around at set intervals. And this is actually one of my favorite apps on like this style of smartwatch. You can actually set this to every 30 minutes it will make a bunch of noise to remind you to stand up and walk around to keep you from sitting still for too long. Very intuitive and makes a lot of sense, and a cool app to have. This is the button that actually, this opens up Bluetooth notifier. This is for an old version of the software, so don't use this. Use the version that comes on the 128 megabyte card. There's also a search bar, and that's good if you have the internet browser, if you're using a SIM card. Those are for video clips. And it also has a built-in calendar, which is a really cool idea, but it winds up being very, very small text. So really a little bit too small to be useful unless you have really tiny fingers or a stylus. If you have a stylus, this becomes very useful. And the calculator, everybody's favorite app. And in this particular case, it's like an old Casio calculator watch, where it is extremely useful. And it's a really cool thing to have on your wrist. I know people who have similar watches who use this particular app on a regular basis, and it's a real selling point. Using the onboard music controls, you can also control music from the watch. You can adjust the volume, change tracks, pause, continue. And this is currently controlling Spotify on the phone. As far as fit and feel are concerned, the Frewico is a very nice smartwatch. The strap has a very nice feeling rubber texture to it, very similar to what you'd find on an Apple Watch. And this metal bit here is very, very light, almost non-existent, unlike what I felt on the Panda U, where there was a solid metal bar coming across the bottom, which was very uncomfortable to wear for any extended period of time. This is very comfortable to wear, and it has a nice heft to it. So it feels substantial, it feels nice. And the button has a nice solid press to it. And in general, it feels well built. The back snaps on very securely after you've placed the battery in, and the side attaches and removes so you can use your micro USB cable to charge it. And overall, it's a very well built watch, especially for the price. So in conclusion, I'm kind of trying to figure out who this watch is meant for. And when I think about who's going to buy the Frewico, it's really meant for somebody who's looking to augment their Android phone. And it's essentially a very inexpensive way to bring a lot of the functionality of your Android phone to your wrist. And it's for under $50, you can bring all of your notifications, all of your phone calls, all of your emails, all of the control of your music. You can bring the majority of the functionality of your smartphone to your wrist in a very easily manageable fashion. And this is something that was prohibitively expensive until very recently and is now extremely cheap with the advent of watches like the Frewico. And I think for somebody who is interested in dabbling with this sort of technology, this is a really good place to get started. And if you're like a hobbyist who kind of is interested in tinkering with this sort of thing, I think this is a great watch to get started with. And if you're an Android user, all the better. As usual, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. There's an Amazon link in the comment section as well if you want to purchase the watch, as well as the micro SD card reader and the USB SD card reader. And if you think that I missed anything, or if you have any questions about the apps, feel free to go ahead and drop me a message, or just leave it in the comment section. And somebody who either has this watch or myself will definitely be happy to check it out for you. So, thanks for liking, and yeah, thanks for checking out Sync Hacks.